Om Shri Sai Ram, Sai Satcharitha, English reading, chapter 27 today. In the event of Sri Ram Navami, and Baba loves to celebrate Sri Ram Navami and also Ramadan month, both coming together. Wishes and prayers for all Ramadan celebrating people and also Sri Ram Navami celebrating people. Sai Ram. Chapter 27. Favor shown by giving Bhagavad and Vishnu's Sahasranam. Dikshit's Vittal Vision, Gita Rahasya, Kapar Desh. This chapter describes how Sai Baba favored his devotees by granting them religious books, and after he had touched and consecrated them for Parayan, reading regularly, and certain other matters. Preliminary. When a man takes a plunge into sea, he gets the merit of bathing in all the tirthas and sacred rivers. Similarly, when a man takes refuge at the feet of the Sadguru, he gets the merit of bowing to the Trinity, that is, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh, and also Parabrahma. Victory be unto Sri Sai, the wish fulfilling tree, and the ocean of knowledge who gives us self realization. O Sai, create in us reverence of your stories. Let the readers and audience devour them with the same relish with which the chatak bird drinks the water from the clouds and becomes happy. While listening to your stories, let them and their families get all the true and pious emotions via. Let their bodies perspire, let their eyes be full of tears, let their breath be steady, let their minds be composed, let their hair stand on end, let them cry, sob, and quiver, let their hostilities vanish. When these things happen, that is the sign of the grace of the Guru dawning upon them. When these emotions grow in you, the Guru is most pleased and will certainly lead you on the path of self realization. How beautifully explained. The best way, therefore, to get free from the shackles of Maya is a complete and wholehearted surrender to Baba. The Vedas cannot take you across the ocean of Maya. It is only the Sadguru who can do so and make you see the God in all creatures. Granting consecrated book. The various methods of imparting instructions followed by Baba have already been noticed in the previous chapters. In this, we shall deal with one aspect of it. It was the habit of some devotees to take to Baba some religious books of which they wanted to make a special study and to receive the same book back from him after they were touched and consecrated by him. While reading such books daily, they felt that Baba was with them. Once, Kaka Mahajani came to Shirdi with a copy of Eknathi Bhagvat. Shama took this book to read in the masjid. There, Baba took it from him, touched it, and turning some pages here and there, gave it back to Shama and asked him to keep it with him. When Shama said that it belonged to Kaka and had to be returned to him, "No, no," replied Baba. "As I given it to you, you better keep it. It will be of use to you." In this way, many books were entrusted to Shama. Kaka Mahajani, after a few days, came again with another copy of the same Bhagavad and gave it in Baba's hand. Then Baba gave it back as prasad and asked him to preserve it well and assured him that it would stand him in good stead. Kaka accepted it with reverence. Shama and Vishnu Sahasranam. Shama was very intimate devotee of Baba, and Baba wanted to favor him in a particular way by giving him a copy of Vishnu Sahasranam as prasad. This was done in the following way. Once a Ramadasi, that is follower of Saint Ramadas, came to Shirdi and stayed there for some time. The routine he followed daily was as follows. He got up early in the morning, washed his face, bathed, and then after wearing saffron clothes and besmearing himself with sacred ashes, read Vishnu Sahasranam. It is a book giving 1,000 names in praise of Vishnu and held second in importance to Bhagavad Gita. And Adhyatma Ramayan, that is esoteric version of Rama's story with faith. He read these books very often. After some days, Baba thought of favoring and initiating Shama and with Vishnu Sahasranam. He therefore called the Ramadasi to him and said to him that he was suffering from intense stomach pain, and unless he took Senapods, that is Sona Mukhi, a mild purgative drug, the pain would not stop. So he should please go to the bazaar, that is the market, and bring the drug. The Ramadasi closed his book and went to the bazaar. Then Baba came from his seat to Ramdashi's place of reading and took out a copy of Vishnu Sahasranam, and after coming back to his seat said to Shama, Shama, this book is very valuable and efficacious, so I present it to you. You read it. Once I suffered intensely and my heart began to palpitate and my life was in danger. At that critical moment, I hugged this book to my heart, and then Shama, what a relief it gave me. I thought that Allah Himself came down and saved me. So I give this to you. Read it slowly, little by little. Read daily one name at least, and it will do you good. Shama replied that he did not want it, and that the owner of it, the Ramadasi, who was a bad tempered, obstinate, and irritable fellow, would certainly pick up a quarrel with him. Besides, being rustic himself, he could not read distinctly the Sanskrit Devanagari script text of the book. Shama thought that Baba wanted to set him up against the Ramadasi by his act of this, but he had no idea what Baba felt for him. Baba must have thought to tie this necklace of Vishnu Sahasranam round the neck of Shama, as he was an intimate devotee, though a rustic, and thus save him from miseries of worldly existence. The efficacy of God's name is well known. It saves us from all sins and bad tendencies, frees us from the cycle of births and deaths. There is no easier sadhana than this. It is the best purifier of our mind. It requires no paraphernalia and no restrictions. It is so easy and so effective. This sadhana Baba wanted Shama to practice, though he did not crave for it. So Baba forced this on him. It is so reported that long ago Eknath Maharaj similarly forced this Vishnu Sahasranam on a poor Brahmin neighbor and thus saved him. The reading and study of this Vishnu Sahasranam is a broad open way of purifying the mind, and hence Baba thrust this on his devotee Shama. The Ramadasi returned soon with the Senapods. Anna Chinchanikar, who was then present and wanted to play the part of Narad, that is celestial Rishi, celestial Rishi, who was well known for setting up confrontation between gods and demons and vice versa, informed him of what had happened. The Ramadasi at once flared up. He came down at once on Shama with full fury. He said that it was Shama who set Baba to send him away under the pretext of stomachache for bringing the medicine, and thus took away the book. He began to scold and abuse Shama and remarked that if the book was not written, he would dash his head. Shama calmly remonstrated with him, but in vain. Then Baba spoke kindly to him as follows: O Ramadashi, what is the matter with you? Why are you so turbulent? Is it not Shama, your boy? Why do you scold him unnecessarily? How is that you are so quarrelsome? Can you not speak soft and tender words? You read these sacred books daily, and still your mind is agitated, and your passions uncontrolled. What sort of Ramadasi are you? You ought to be indifferent to all things. Is it not strange that you should possess this book so strongly? A true Ramadasi should have no mamata, that is attachment, but have samata, that is equality to all, towards all. You are now quarrelling with Shama for a mere book. Go take your seat. Books can be had in plenty with money, but not men. Think well and be considerate. What worth is your book? Shama had no concern with it. I took it up myself and gave it to him. You know it by heart. I thought Shama might read it and benefit thereby, and so I gave it to him. How sweet were these words of Baba, soft, tender, and nectar-like. Their effect was wonderful. The Ramadasi calmed down and said to Shama that he would take Panchratni Gita in return. Shama was much pleased and said, Why one? I shall give 10 copies in return. So the matter was ultimately settled. The question for consideration is, why should Ramadasi press for Panchratni Gita, a book for which he never cared to know, and why should he, who daily read religious book in the masjid in front of the Baba, quarrel with Shama before him? We do not know how apportion the blame and who to blame. We only saw that had this incident not happened, the importance of the subject, the efficacy of God's name, and the significance of Vishnu's Nam would not have been brought home to Shama. So we see that Baba's method of teaching and initiating was unique. In this case, Shama did gracefully when gradually studied the book and mastered it in such a way that to an extent that he was able to explain to it to a professor, G.G. Narke, M.A. of the College of Engineering, Pune, the son-in-law of Shriman Bhuti and a devotee of Baba. Vittal Vision. One day, while Kaka Sahib Dikshit was in meditation, after his morning bathe in his Vada at Shirdi, he saw a vision of Vittal. When he went to see Baba afterwards, Baba asked him, "Did Vittal Patil come? Did you not see him? He is very elusive. Hold him fast, otherwise he will give you the slip and run away." Then at noon, a certain hawker came there with 20 or 25 pictures of Vittal of Pandarpur for sale. Mr. Dikshit was surprised to see the form of Vittal. He saw in his meditation exactly tallied with that in the picture, and that he was so reminded of Baba's words. He therefore brought one picture most willingly and kept it in his shrine for worship. Gita Rahasya. Baba always loved those who studied Brahma Vidya, that is metaphysics, and encouraged them. To give an instance, one Bapu Sahib Jog received a post parcel. It contained a copy of Gita Rahasya by Lokamanya Tilak. Taking it under his armpit, he came to the masjid and prostrated before Baba when the parcel fell at Baba's feet. Baba inquired what it was. It was opened then and there, and the book was placed in Baba's hand. He turned some pages here and there for a few minutes and took out a rupee from his pocket, placed it on the book and handed the same with rupee to Jog and said to him, "Read this completely and you will be benefited." Mr. and Mrs. Kaparde. Let us close this chapter with a description of the Kapardesh. Once Dada Sahib Kaparde came with his family and lived in Shirdi for some months. The diary of his stay has been published in English in Sri Sai Leela magazine, first volume. Dada Sahib was not an ordinary man. He was an affluent and most famous advocate of Amravati, his Berar, and was a member of the Council of State, Delhi. He was intelligent and a very good speaker. Still, he dared not open his mouth before Baba. Most devotees spoke and argued with Baba, off and on, but only three, that is Kaparde, Nulkar and Bhuti, always kept silent. They were meek, modest, humble and good-natured. Dada Sahib, who was able to expound Panchadashi, this well-known Sanskrit treatise on the Advait philosophy by famous Vidyaranya, to others, uttered no word when he came to the masjid before Baba. A man, however, learned he may be even in Vedas, fades away before one who realized Brahma and becomes one with it. Learning cannot stand before self-realization. Dada Sahib stayed for 4 months, but Mrs. Kaparde stayed for 7. Both were highly pleased with their Shirdi stay. Mrs. Kaparde was faithful and devout and loved Baba deeply. Every noon she brought Naivedya herself to the masjid, and after it was accepted by Baba, she used to return and take her meals. On seeing her steady and firm devotion, Baba wanted to exhibit it to others. One noon she brought a dish containing sansa, wheat pudding, puris, rice, soup and kheer, that is sweet rice, and other sundry articles to the masjid. Baba, who usually waited for hours, got up at once, went up to his seat, and removing the cover from the dish, began to partake of the things zealously. Shama then asked, "Why this partiality? At times you throw away dishes for others and do not care to look at them, but this appeals to you earnestly. Why is the dish brought by this lady so sweet?" This intrigues us. Baba then explained, "This food is really extraordinary. In former birth, this lady was a merchant's fat cow yielding much milk. Then she disappeared and took birth in a gardener's family, then in Kshatriya family and married a merchant. Then she was born in Brahmin family. I saw her after a very long time. Let me take some sweet morsels of love from her dish. After saying this, Baba did full justice to her dish, washed his mouth and hands, belched out as if he was fully satisfied, and resumed his seat. Then she bowed down and began to shampoo Baba's legs, and he began to talk with her and knead her arms, which were shampooing his legs. On seeing this reciprocal service, Shama began to joke and said, "It's going on well. It is a wonderful sight to see God and his bhaktas serving each other." After being pleased with her sincere service, Baba asked her in low and fascinating tone to chant Rajaram, Rajaram. Then and always, and said, "If you do this, your life's object will be achieved, your mind will attain peace, and you will be immensely benefited." To persons unfamiliar with spiritual matters, this might appear as a polite gesture, but really it was not so. It was a case of what is technically called Shaktipat, that is, transference of power from Guru to disciple. How effective were Baba's words! In an instant, they pierced her heart and remained there. This case illustrates the nature of the relations that should subsist between the Guru and the disciple. Both should love and serve each other as one. There is no distinction nor any difference between them. Both are one, and one cannot live without the other. The disciple, placing his head at the Guru's feet, is the gross and outward vision. Really and internally, they are both one and the same. One who see any difference between them are yet unripe and not perfect. Bow to Shirdi Sai. Peace be to all. Om Sai Ram. This is chapter 27, Sai Satcharitha, English version. This is Om Shri Sai Nathaya Namaha. Meet you with the 28th chapter next week. Sai Ram.